sweet. Isn't it though? You like it?
What happens when we live with someone who will pull us continually back into our codependency? It's so difficult to love people, as this woman is so trying to do in this obviously created video, to appreciate people when they are helping uphold not only the invisible labor of us on the household, but also our codependency, which is what I talk about on this page. Now, here's the thing. I don't even care that she appreciated him for something so lowball. We have a standard of appreciation in our household. So I have literally thrown a can of soup or literally opened a bag of dry itchy ban and brought it to my partner. And he's like, oh, I appreciate you. And I do the same for him. There is a loving appreciation for the bare minimum in our household so that we're appreciated no matter what we do. We don't have capacity to go big every day. If you do, how you doing? How you doing? But the real point and the codependent point here, and again, this intersects with the misogyny and the labor and the invisible labor of women in the home, is when we live with someone who participates in upholding our codependency. I talk with people a lot about working on themselves and being able to opt out and detach from whether a chore is done or not as a strategy to maintain a little freaking peace in your life, as a way to understand that you are not your mess. You are not the household. You are different. You don't need to be enmeshed with that. Doesn't mean we don't have to caretake it. But when we detach, we can actually start navigating this stuff better. It becomes less personalized and we're more able to have the conversations we need to have and push for the equality or the equity that is needed there. But I also remind people that other people can also pull us into codependency. And it's usually a little bit of both, because people who have a really strong sense of self often don't give energy to people who are trying to pull them into a codependent situation. It's often people who already have that codependence alive and well in them, and they're on the precipice of it, and then that person just continues to uphold and contribute to the codependency, such as leaving a huge mess, but then having done something nice, dressing it up as something nice, then it reinforces that we're not able to speak up about that mess. Not without, taking away something nice they did, not without having to manage and caretake their emotional experience, their self-esteem. This becomes the codependent catch-22. Yes, you did something nice, but then you also did something that was put on me that now I have to do. And if I speak up about it, you're going to use that nice thing to have leverage and guilt me and say, see, you never appreciate anything I do. And I've seen a lot of codependents who end up in relationships, especially with men, where when women speak up about the way their partner is contributing to their pattern of codependency and sort of pulling them or bidding for them to join them in the codependent cycle, the other person will guilt them or will say, well, that sounds like a you problem, or things like that. Just remember, a loving partner wants to help you get out of your codependence and have a sense of self. And if that person is actively contributing to the very things that ignite your codependency, like they can't control all that for you, but to have situations like this, again, we don't know if it'll be left, but just watch for these people, okay? That's all I'm saying. Watch for what happens after this scene, because we don't know. But how is the after scene of this for you in your life? What does that look like for you? Who's doing something nice, but actually creating more labor, creating more of a dynamic that you have to be needed and productive for them in order to be loved, and guilting you when you don't participate or you speak out about it.
Her man loaded the dishwasher.
Weaponized mediocrity in heteronormative households. Let's talk about it. Weaponized mediocrity is purposely doing something so incompetently or so incompletely to the point where the person you're doing it for, or the person you feel forced to do it for, feels the need to never even let you think of doing it again. Simply because fixing your mistakes takes twice as much energy as you put in. It's a way of punishing your partner for asking you to participate in something you enjoy the fruits of. Weaponized incompetence is more so making the conscious choice to not even learn about the chore or the family management necessity, for the same reason still. And looking at the caption in this scenario, it works wonderfully. She states she'll never let a man do the dishes again. You would have to be objectively stupid to live in a house with a dishwasher and have no idea how not to give your family gastroenteritis, let alone not start a fire with that wooden spoon in there. He did this on purpose. Multiple studies have already shown just how unequally the labor is shared inside of the home, specifically in heteronormative households. So these countless videos of women complaining about their man's shenanigans are just extra study material. Kudos to her, because I would have fed him right out of one of those bacteria-drenched plates. Don't be acting slow for shits and giggles. I don't have time for that.
I asked my husband to put the leftovers away yesterday. It was ravioli. This is a trash bag. That's a trash bag.
Say it with me now. Weaponized incompetence. In a relationship, your partner's using their lack of knowledge as an excuse as to why they did the action that they did the way they did. She asked him for a favor, which was to put the leftovers away, which he did. And obviously him putting the leftovers away isn't a problem. It's how he stored the leftovers in the refrigerator that is a problem. And now this is going to be an argument because she's going to go confront him and say, hey, sweetheart, when you put the leftovers away, you put them in a plastic bag. And he's going to say, well, at least I put them away. That's what you asked me to do, so I did it. Meanwhile, he may not be acknowledging, or he may know why this is a problem, but he's using his lack of intelligence as an excuse as to why he did what he did. He's going to say in return, well, you didn't tell me I had to put it in a Tupperware. You didn't tell me I had to put it in a storage container. How am I supposed to know how to store that? Just because I didn't put it away the way you would put it away doesn't mean that it's wrong. I did what you asked me to do. It's never good enough for you. That's more likely how that conversation would go if she approaches him, because he seems like that type of person based off this one simple action. And of course, this tends to bleed out in other areas of the relationship. So for example, when it comes to cleaning the household, a lot of men like this would assume that their wife or their girlfriend are responsible solely for cleaning the place that they both live in. Therefore, when their girlfriend or wife confront them and say, hey, I need help cleaning an apartment, I need help cleaning the house. Well, you never told me and I don't know how to clean. This is your responsibility. You're always the one who's supposed to clean because this is a woman's job. And more likely, it'll become an issue. Weaponized incompetence is not an excuse to do shitty things in a relationship. You are an adult. You have access to Google. You have access to YouTube. You know what you can even do on top of that? You can ask your partner, hey, how did you want me to store this ravioli? What was the best way to store it so that way it stays as fresh as possible? Instead of, let me grab a trash bag and wrap it around the bowl and put it in the refrigerator, because that's how food is supposed to be stored. That's how my mom always stored food, with a trash bag. Come on now.
The solution to weaponized incompetence is bullying. I think we should stop calling it weaponized incompetence and just start calling them stupid. Like, if they want us to believe that they're too dumb to figure out how to do dishes, then I think we should treat them like that. Not by doing stuff for them, but by being really mean. If you're an alpha male, but you call taking care of your own children babysitting, how do you make it through the day? Do you need me to pull up a YouTube video on how to tie your shoes? Say you want to get into crypto, but you can't wipe down a counter? Sorry, but I think I can only speak to you in 2-syllable words. If you're the head of the household, but you need your wife to write down instructions on how to use a toaster oven, that's embarrassing. The lack of shame is astounding to me. How are y'all not embarrassed? It's always the alpha males, right? Promoting like, well, this is the woman's job. My job is to sit around and be bald.
I almost think that they like weaponized incompetence because it implies that they're smart enough to like trick you into doing stuff for them. But I genuinely believe that most of them are just useless and stupid. Like, I don't think this is their plan. I think they're really so dumb and useless that they can't figure out how to do dishes. Maybe we could set up some kind of nursing home situation, an island.
Y'all want to see what real weaponized incompetence looks like? Me and my mom haven't been home for 3 days. I haven't been home for longer, but he was left to his own for 3 whole days, and that's it. This is the state of our kitchen and dining room. This is the most tame of it. It's his computer just left open, but this is his mess specifically all there. Then we get over here. Of course, you can't take out the recycling. This has been there for days. This is just something that needs recycled. All his beer and stuff. More beer. Left out ranch, so. Or blue cheese, great, that's really ruined. That's been out for at least overnight. This is left open. That is because he refuses to do the dishes, so he has run out of silverware. Let me show you all. This is like big stuff. But yeah, out of silverware, that's our silverware. There's spoons only. Then this paper towel roll he won't replace. My mom says to just leave it, so he has to clean it all up. Because I have a theory he left this ginormous mess to punish us for not being home with him for days. So I think he did this intentionally to try to make us have to clean up after him. We will not be doing that. This is crazy work. This is the only thing that was my mom's. The rest of it is all his. It starts with the water bottles and the beer cans, but this is what happens when you leave them alone in the house to their own devices. So pick your partners wisely, people.